The 6 lines of the sphere of the pearl, which is about discovering what prosperity means to you and your relationship to money. And just for clarity, there's the pearl sequence, which contains 4 spheres, one of which is the sphere of the pearl, which is where it gets our namesake. And that's what we're talking about today. And the pearl is a return to simplicity. So in honor of that, I'm going to keep these short and to the point. There's no need in making this complex. The pearl represents the harvest of the transformation that you've gone through as you've walked through the golden path. It's a new look on life, a simpler way of seeing things. It's what's left after we shed all the unnecessary, all the shadow, all the beliefs, all the doubts, all the things that we think we need that don't actually serve our higher purpose. The pearl brings us back to an ordinary life. And it's sort of like the built-in self-destruct mechanism that blows up the teachings and delivers us back to life, back to just your ordinary world. So line 1 is about simplicity specifically. And deep down, if you're a line 1, you know that money is not that important in your life. First lines are all about creation. They're all about bringing things into the world. And that is your prosperity. For you, you just need enough money to be able to make, to be able to create, to be able to introduce new things to new people. And in order for you to find prosperity, you have to live simply so that you can see what is actually essential in your life. One of the worst things for you is clutter. And that's outer clutter in your spaces, in your office where you work, and inner clutter, extra thoughts, extra emotions that you hold on to because you think that you need them. Simplicity is simply doing what you love. And it's being connected to source, which is what drives your creativity. It's honoring the relationships, the love that you have in your life. It's about being connected to nature. And that's really important as a 1. You have to connect to nature because it helps you remember your purity. It helps you remember to turn home. The simpler your life as a first line, the happier you're going to be. Line 2 is recognition. And second lines love to be on display, but not for the sake of recognition. And that's one of the paradoxes of a 2. 2s only need to be recognized themselves if they're living in their shadow, if they're insecure in what they're doing. 2s, though, will be recognized. That's the thing, is you don't have to try to want to be recognized. You're going to be, because you're so easygoing. You're so natural. You have this flowing approach to life that others recognize, and they're blown away by how easy your gifts come to you. So I'm not a 2 here, but I have some 2s in my profile. And one of the things I often hear with physical movement, like picking up a sport, is that it just comes so easily to me. And that's my second line. If you're a 2, you need to learn to receive. Because when you truly love yourself, recognition feels good. You're not self-conscious of it. You're not worried about how other people are going to see you. You need to understand that you bring value to the world. What 2s do is they share that recognition. They share the reward that comes into their life. And the way that they do that is to recognize other people. There are going to be constant surprises as you flow with life. 2s have a lot of synchronicities because they are able to go with the natural flow of things and not fight against the river. So your job as a 2 is simply to share your heart, to speak your truth, to open yourself up to the world and watch the magic that happens. Prosperity for you as a second line is finding the people that you truly see in this world. 2s are about partnership, keynoted marriage in the sphere of radiance. So it's about finding those people, and also about finding the people that see you. It goes both ways. Line 3 is about celebration. So third lines use money as a tool to party. They want to celebrate life, celebrate the beauty, celebrate the success of other people. 3s are here to entertain and to be entertained. That is their deepest and truest expression of love. Their job is to make the most of the time we have here on this planet, to make the most of the time that they have and that others have, to help people see that life is worth celebrating. And celebration might not just be a party, it might be inspiring others to live their purpose, or it might be acting in service to help other people. Threes have a big personality, and that personality wakes people up. It helps them to see what's possible in their lives. And threes have a potential to draw in a good bit of money, because partying in life can be expensive. To enjoy the things of life costs money. However, threes are spending that money on other people's joy. And yes, in turn, that then brings them joy. Life loves to use its energy, right? That's the difference between prosperity and wealth. Wealth hoards. Wealth holds on to things and piles it up because we might need it later. Prosperity spends and gives to create the flow so that more can come in. A good day for a three ends with this healthy state of exhaustion because they lived their life to the fullest that day. Line 4 is about charity. And like threes, fours share their money, but it's for a specific purpose. And that purpose is to help other people. Celebration, that third line, isn't what is necessary for some people. Some people are just barely getting by, and they're not in a place that they celebrate, and enter the line 4 to be able to help them, to help bring them up. Fours come to offer practical help. And prosperity for a 4 comes from touching the hearts and lives of other people. Fours are here to serve. Remember, in the life's work sphere, they're keynoted the server. And life will always bring you to those in need, or they'll come to you. So either you'll find them or they'll find you, because that is your purpose, is to help people, to bring them up. And when you help, you're gonna feel this deep sense of gratitude, this deep fulfillment in what you're doing. There's a quote that Richard Rudd uses in the text here, and it is, life is like a heavy rain cloud, or excuse me, love is like a heavy rain cloud looking for an arid plain. That is a line 4. You're just waiting for your ability to bring life, to bring joy, to bring peace, to transform a landscape. You as a 4 might also receive lots of money, but it's to give that money away. It's to be charitable. However, it's not always about money for 4s. It's more about service. It's more about giving of yourself. Moving now to line 5, it is the line of power. And the 5th line has a heavy responsibility. And it's about stepping up into that responsibility, because it is your role to help shape the future of humanity on a global level, on the broadest level possible. Power can be tight and hold on, or it can have a soft and gentle touch. And when you're living in the gift as a 5, it's that soft touch, because you know the greatest impact that you can have is to help other people step into their potential. And that doesn't come from micromanaging. That doesn't come from enforcing your leadership. It comes from showing people that they can lead themselves, that they are self-empowered. The role of a 5th line is to bring giant positive change to our world. So what you need to do is to stand tall. Take a very deep breath and get to work. 5s have the potential to draw the most money of all of the lines, because on the material plane, it takes a lot of money to be powerful. That's just the reality of our current paradigm. But what you do with that money is act as a modern day Robin Hood. You help to distribute it among the people that are in need, among the people that have lack. You'll be wealthy so that you can direct that wealth to serve problems, to help the people that are in a hard place come up and work their way out of it. Your job is to balance the economy. And 5th lines are not in it for the connection, like the fourth lines are. They're not in it for the celebration. They're in it for the practicality. They're in it to fix the problem. That's the keynote of the fifth line in the sphere of the life's work, the fixer. Fives are here to serve the future vision of sixes. So sixes dream up this thing, and fives direct us all towards that new way of being, that new vision. Fives are compassion in action. And finally, we get to the sixth line, which is keynoted nature. And this is a giant paradox, as is everything with the sixth line. And I feel this deeply. This is my line here in the Pearl. And the paradox is that everything is perfect just as it is, and there is so much work to be done in this world. Sixes recognize that in order to prosper individually, we have to prosper as a whole, because we are all connected, and we can't prosper individually without prospering as a whole. There's no such thing as a closed system. Sixes recognize that every act is a magical act, and that everything that you do, that you think, that you say, affects the whole. It's like the butterfly effect, the butterfly flapping its wings in the United States, causing a monsoon in China. Every line has its relationship to money, and the relationship between the sixth line and money is looking ahead to a future where money is no longer needed. Money served us to a point, and now it's part of what's causing the system to crumble. And sixes look forward to a time where money is no longer needed. And that will come when the time is ready. Christ spoke in the Sermon on the Mount of the lilies in the field. And he was talking about universal goodwill, talking about leaving things to nature, leaving things to their own devices. And in that, we will all prosper. And if we were all to live our genius, if we were all to be our own version of a lily, we don't need money, because you serve your highest purpose, I serve my highest purpose, and in that we trade. And we are able to bring one another up without the need for money. We're part of the greater plan of nature. Everything that's happening is a part of the plan. That's the line 6 take. Nature decides what happens through us. We are the eyes, the ears, the arms of nature. So sixes just need to be calm and trust that things are going just as they are. Even if nature decides that we need a do-over, we need to start over, that too is part of the plan, and that's not out of the question. And we just need to be calm as sixes and lead others into that place with calmness. Sixes have this absolute trust of the present moment. And I just want to close with a quick story that comes again from the text of the Gene Keys. And it's a fable, and it's about a woman who feels that her house is too small. And she goes to an old wise man, and he says, "Bring in your ox." And so she goes outside and she brings in her ox, and bring in your pig, and she brings in her pig, and there's sheep on the kitchen table and just absolute mayhem everywhere. And she's like, how is this helping? And then he says, bring it all back outside again. And when that happens, she realizes how big her house actually is. And that is the pearl in action. It's a shedding. It's recognizing that what you have now is plenty. And that is the beginning, the foundation of true prosperity. So that concludes our pearl sequence. We've now done all 4 spheres of the pearl for our 6 lines, and I'm gonna move next to the activation sequence. Also, shout out, let me know what you guys think of this setup. I'm experimenting with some new things. We boosted up the board, brought the shot in a little bit closer. Anyway, I hope this was helpful, and I'll see you in our first sphere of activation.